My name is Cameron King, and you're listening to Antics. I got real close on that one. I hope your ears are soothed. I'm here with my good buddy from my AP Government class that I met in this past month. And we bonded over a shared love of the man, Kanye West. I started talking to him because I saw this beautiful shirt that he has on, which says Pablo on the front, and it also had on the back of it, because I sit behind him, it says, and I drove back 30 hours.
Do you?
And yeah, do you, right? So that's a line from this Kanye song.
Let's go. What's up, guys? It's Ian Dutta here.
It's Ian Dutta. That's the man. That's what we're doing. That's what we're rocking. That's what we're rolling.
In the cut.
So Ian, we talked about Kanye a bit, right? Yeah. I talk about Kanye a bit on this podcast. I'm not so my whole passion for Kanye is just because I see so much. I wrote about this in an essay.
Yeah.
In social justice. My teacher was like, okay guys, so college essay day tomorrow, and I was like, holy fuck. I was like, I think I need something. So I was like, okay. So 1 a.m. I pull up my Google Docs and I just write 650 words. Okay, so I looked at the prompt was, write about a topic that makes you lose track of time. Describe what you look for influence on that subject. And I'm like, music. What music means to me. And then I was like, where do you look for inspiration? I was like, Kanye, duh. And I said Kanye is the peak of passion, right? Kanye is the peak of passion, and if you don't understand who he is, you don't need to look at any interview, any headline. If you just listen to his music from 2004 to 2019, you see a progression, and a what's the opposite of progression? A digression.
That's it.
You see a digression of his Yeezus period. It wasn't like a musical.
Well, how do you see Yeezus as a digression? What?
So it's not a musical digression, but it's like a personal digression. He embodies the villain on Yeezus. He goes, "I am God." That's his arrogance at the top.
You say, "I am God." I've heard you say that before on the podcast. You forget one word. I am a God. He's not calling himself God. He's calling himself.
He says, "I am God." He's even though I'm a man of God.
He's the cult. He's got a cult of personality, right? And he is the leader of that cult. And every time he goes on stage, with that Yeezus mask, he's got people.
The Margiela mask, bro.
Yeah, he's got people at the tips of his fingers, and he is controlling their energy so well. He played one note of Runaway.
Oh my god! And
the crowd went ape shit.
Dude, have you saw that clip, right? Can we talk about the Margiela mask for a second?
Yeah.
So just
clip about it. What?
Just the it's a Mason Margiela, right? Or
yeah.
Is it Martin Margiela?
I've never heard of him.
So he's a fashion designer, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you look him up, that day when I saw that clip, I looked up a Margiela fashion runway show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, dude!
Gotta see it.
So what the viewers at home should do is look that up, and then look up Kanye performing New Slaves with the Margiela mask on, because it's just magnificent. Have you seen
him take it off before? Have you seen videos of that?
No.
When he plays Jesus Walks, he has, on that tour, iconic 2013 Yeezus tour, he would have a moment where he plays his most famous single from College Dropout, Jesus Walks. He'd have a person playing Jesus.
I don't know if that's...
I think it is. I don't know.
You forget about Through the Wire.
I know, but
that's what got
Jesus
him the popularity.
Got the Christians.
Yeah, you're right.
It got the rap fans. But whenever he plays that song, he takes the mask off, kneels in front of Jesus. That's the only person that he's below. It's beautiful. Dude, I love every era of Kanye, but his Yeezus era, yeah, that's another level.
You think it's the most pure?
That's the most iconic. Because Kanye is a god.
Let me finish the point, and then we can discuss go into the discography.
Mason Margiela, yeah.
So, not even about that. Just about the digression.
Yeah.
When you look at his if you don't know anything about Kanye, and you listen to just his music front to back,
mm-hmm.
you get who this guy is. You understand he's funny. He's self-aware. He's arrogant. He's aware of that arrogance.
Yep.
He's insecure. He's aware of his insecurities. Every aspect of his life, he portrays through music.
And he portrays it in different ways. Like,
and he portrays it with such
complex.
It's so complex, yet simple.
Simple in different albums.
He talks about it where he says his music is something that he tries to make the themes as digestible as possible to appeal to a larger audience.
But his mind is just,
everyone can relate.
He's got one of the most intelligent minds I've ever seen in music. Like, I've never... that's how he got his...
Truly.
That's how he got so famous.
Maybe not the smartest social mind. I think... But I don't think he doesn't care.
He doesn't, no.
I don't... It's just, he has one of the most pure, creative minds that I've ever seen in my life.
That's why he dropped out. Dropped out of college because he was going for an art degree.
That style of school was just not for him.
Late registration, he registered... Yeah, he didn't want to go to college at all.
Oh, dude.
But then he got his diploma because of his mom. That's a beautiful thing.
Did he?
He said...
Oh, he said, hey, mama, I'm going back to school.
A few years ago, he got his master's in art.
Oh, really?
At, like, an LA. I don't know where he got it from, but he got his master's. That's just a beautiful
I've listened to that song twice in the past day.
Amazing.
And, dude, I have you seen the interview where he's with his mom on a panel? And a reporter goes, Kanye, could you please describe to us the relationship you have with your mother? And he goes,
damn.
You know, I'm gonna answer this with a song I wrote. And
This is before he released it?
No, after he released it, 2005.
Yeah.
So he just goes a cappella, no beat, in the interview. He goes, let me start it. Mama, I want to scream so loud for you, 'cause I'm so proud of you. And then the whole crowd, like, as he raps the entire song. If you haven't heard that song, go look up Hey Mama from 2005 album Late Registration. It is one of, like, that song as well. I feel it can compare to Tupac's message to his mom. Now, I know comparing Ye to Pac is a little bit of a controversial thing. However, I feel Pac was tainted a bit more by the rap persona being like one of the biggest black celebrities, as well as the power he had and the messages that he dove into. I feel in a lot of his later work, like, you still see that emotional depth in Pac, but you miss the self-awareness that we see in Kanye in his later years. I think about this a lot, even though Tupac, like, you listen to Tupac ever?
I've never listened to Tupac. I need to start. Yeah, definitely.
That's a sad. You're a detriment. Just listen to.
Not a rap fan. We'll get into that later,
to Me Against the World.
Yeah.
You have to be a rap fan to like it, but you don't have to be a rap fan to understand the messages and themes.
Yeah, for sure. I'll get on that.
So, but my point is that just like the way that Kanye and Pac rap for their mother is something we can all relate to, because we all love our mom. And
interesting though.
And understanding that and listening to that in poetry form is something that just like really tugs at the heartstrings.
Yeah. I feel like Kanye has such a strong relationship with his mom because his dad was never there for him. His dad did.
Yeah.
Okay, so right now he's
nasty divorce.
Yeah. Divorced. For some reason, wait, how is he reconnecting with him now? Like,
his dad?
Yeah, he's
through God, dude. His dad's a pastor. He's like a Christ. It's like he helps with prison inmates.
Oh, okay.
I believe either that or marriage, one of the two. And he's like kind of a pastor. I'm a little bit confused on. I don't have the exact details, but he's one of those things. He's a psychologist, kind of. Fuck, dude. I don't know. I don't want to sound stupid. I'm gonna look it up real quick. So I say what you were gonna say. Let me look it up.
Yeah, dude. Donda West was. It's one of the biggest what ifs if she hadn't passed away.
Oh my god.
Because I never got to see her.
It really made Kanye the way he is today, though.
They were inseparable.
Oh, so sad.
I keep seeing interviews of them together, and like, if she hadn't passed away, we would have never gotten the meat of Kanye's career. But we would have gotten an unbroken Kanye. Because now, I feel like after 808s, he started to cave to the media. His mom was his rock, kept him grounded. After
he
808s,
did, dude.
After 808s, he became. I love cocky Kanye, but if he had just kept being on that humble grind and just like being the wholesome figure in the rap community that 50 Cent
that everybody could relate to.
It used to be 50 Cent, and then Kanye just came in and changed the whole paradigm, which he does from time to time. And then, yeah, that would have been...
A big thing I listened to in that podcast that stood out to me was the competition between sales when Kanye dropped Graduation, as well as...
I was just listening to that,
and 50 Cent, right? Mm-hmm. And just the direction that rap music went in after that. Like, did you hear what he was saying about how that inspired Kid Cudi, that inspired Travis, that inspired Frank Ocean, that created Odd Future?
Yeah.
That right there is why.
Can you imagine if we still had like gangster rap as the main?
Dude,
style
that's
of rap?
so interesting to me.
It would have never grown.
Because G-Funk, if you dive into G-Funk ever, bro, G-Funk is great. Like if you listen to the Chronic, it's some of the greatest like rap music that you can ever listen to. Like Snoop Dogg with Dre like behind it, or with Dre with Snoop Dogg behind him, bro. So good. Okay, by the way, Kanye's dad was a former Black Panther and one of the first photojournalists at the Atlanta Journal-Constitution.
Interesting. So, wait, is there anything like Wikipedia about his dad? Like, when did they divorce?
When he was 3.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, dude.
That was never there for him. That's why. Oh my! I see a middle school picture of Kanye with his mom. That is like, God, dude. That is such a precious picture. Like.
And him and Tupac had very different relationships with their mom.
A lot of people's moms aren't there for them. Like Kanye's was the opposite. She went with him when they had nothing to Chicago.
Wait, when you listen to a song like "Dear Mama" from Tupac, that's his letter to his mom.
Yeah.
Right. Kanye's "Hey Mama," that's his appreciation for his mom.
Yeah.
Like that's his love. Tupac's is like it's almost a backhanded apology. If you really listen to the song, because he talks about how he doesn't blame her for turning his brother into a crack baby, like she was a drug addict.
Yeah.
Like they're very. Tupac is a much more. They are both so inspiring. However, Tupac had more purity to his message. Kanye's is tainted by his public persona, I feel. Like, what does the incident at the VMAs speak to you?
That's interesting. I don't think it was like. I think that's just Kanye becoming the embodiment of like his personality. His true colors were showing at that moment. Like he's got something to say. George Bush hates doesn't care about black people. All that shit.
But because you know about the build up to that, right? Did you hear that interview?
Yeah, that monologue.
Oh my god.
He's got so much to say, and like he doesn't care.
Let's explain the George Bush doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I want to say is that when you listen to Kanye say, Kanye did a Vanity. It was Vox. It was either Vox or Vanity Fair.
Yeah.
Whatever.
What was going on?
And he said, in the media, when I say something extremely truthful, it breaks the internet.
Yeah.
So imagine what's happening the rest of the time.
What does that say to you?
Everybody lies. Everybody hides behind lies. And that's what Kanye sees in Trump.
We'll get to Trump.
Trump doesn't. He hides behind lies.
Yeah.
But he has far less lies than the average politician. You know, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. We'll get to politics and shit later.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's dive into Kanye's discography.
Oh my. Okay, so VMAs.
Hold up. To preface this conversation.
Oh my god, dude.
Let's list the albums. We have College Dropout. Well, even further, we should start with H to the Izzo, his first hit single that he produced.
I'm so sorry. I don't know any of that.
Dude,
I have never heard anything before College Dropout.
Oh my.
I know you had a mixtape.
So H to the Izzo, that's Jay-Z.
Yeah.
He produced that track for Jay-Z.
Yeah,
it was a hit single. He goes, H to the Izzo, G to the Izzy, for shizzle my nizzle. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
You know that song?
No.
Okay, whatever.
I'll listen to it.
That was his first hit, right? You go there, then you go College Dropout, then you go Late Registration, then you go Graduation. That's the 3 in the college thing. He's like, this is who I am. Then you go 808s and Heartbreaks. Breaking the barriers of hip-hop.
That's just the most emotional album I've ever heard. Oh my god. And
when I hear a song like Bad News or Streetlights, I just like...
That's an album you can only play at night, dog.
I agree. I mean...
Gets you in.
Not really, because you can listen to songs like Paranoid and Heartless and shit like that.
Yeah.
Love Lockdown. Like his singles on that crap. But those pop hits don't falter from the tone of the album. Like he's like they're so like you can dance to these songs, but he's like, I am paranoid, and like I've never met a woman so heartless, like right, like think about that, like oh my god, so when you look, then you go, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, following the events of the VMA.
We could do a whole series on that album.
I don't want to do a whole series on that album because guess what? There already is. Go check out the Dissect podcast.
Good plug.
Fire. Great stuff. What I want to mention from the Dissect podcast, what really like stood out to me on the I just want to talk about the track Power real quick. That was the first single on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. He starts it off by being like,
this is the soundtrack.
I'm living in that 21st century, doing something mean to it. Do it better than anybody you ever seen do it, right? He's so cocky. Screams from the haters, got a nice ring to it. I guess every superhero needs his theme music. He's like, my arrogance is my theme music. And then he goes, no one man should have all that power.
He's always been on his superhero.
Every time he does the hook, it slightly changes, right? So he's tapping into a different emotional side of him.
What are you talking about?
When I say that if you listen to him back to back, but you with us at a surface level, you won't really know who he is. But if you listen to it and you dive deep into it and the understand the messages and the humor and the witty just portrayal of self, it's just something that is unlike any artist.
Dude, Kanye on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, more than any other album, is just getting his thoughts out better than anybody I've ever seen. Like
it's amazing.
It's just like I haven't even considered like what it means to me completely, because it's just the most amazing production I've ever heard.
Mm-hmm. So what does it mean to you sonically when you listen to something like this that you've never heard before? What does that do to you? How do you feel about that?
I'd heard All of the Lights like 9 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was like my favorite song at the time. Mm-hmm. I never considered it was Kanye because it's got so many.
Do you know what that song's about?
What is it about?
Do you know?
No.
All of the Lights is like a look through the life through the lens of a celebrity. Rihanna goes, turn up the lights, I want y'all to see this. Turn up the lights, want you to see everything.
Yeah.
I want you to see everything. I want you to see every part.
Every flaw.
Every flaw, right? And then Kanye just goes in, he just talks about the insecurities that he
brings it up on the Blame Game, right?
The release that you feel out of drugs and just like money, you know? And that's what the theme of All of the Lights is.
Yeah, what's Ghetto University?
He gets 12 features on that song.
Ridiculous.
12. He has Fergie on that song.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me?
Wait, is that Fergie going like, unemployment line, Is that her or is it MIA?
That's her. That's her.
Oh, okay.
Credit card decline. Did I mention I was going all the way this time?
Yeah.
Did I mention I was about to lose my mind? Right? She's just tapping into the realities of fame. Mm-hmm. So he goes, I guess since we're on that right now, I'll talk about it for a minute. All of the Lights.
Dude, All of the Lights, when I first heard that, I thought it was a good song. And then when I see it in the context of an album, like, usually that happens with me. Like, I see a song and I'm like, alright, that's good. And I don't know really what the emotional or psychological...
I know, dude, I know. It's just like, when you hear something, but you don't really hear it.
You need to hear the whole album.
When I hear it, when I'm listening to these podcasts, bro, this podcast, like, means so much to me. The Dissect podcast, like, it's so incredible. Mm-hmm. Like, how much time he pours into writing this. Like, a lot of them, a couple of the lines are pretty self-explanatory, but a lot of it is, like the themes that he touches on are just incredible, dude. Like, when he talks about, okay, all of the lights, until it's Vegas everywhere we are, all of the lights. You know, it's like Vegas is everywhere we go because of how, like, fast the life of Vegas is. And then when Rihanna goes, if you want it, you can get it for the rest of your life, right? That's showing you can't escape fame. Once you get it for the rest of your life. So he goes, literally the first line, he's just like, MJ died. He's like, fuck, that sucks. Because, like, he's talked about, like...
Kanye's so meme-worthy, man.
He talks about how, but no, because that's not even meme-worthy, bro. I mean, he is meme-worthy, bro. Like, I think he's so self-aware when he's doing something like when he goes on SNL with Lil Pump and fucking dresses up like Fiji water. Like, are you kidding me?
The thing about Kanye is he's not the best rapper, technically. Like, he's not close to the best rapper, but he's the best artist. I have him in my top 10 artists of all time just because of, like, how he can craft a narrative.
He's probably the greatest artist.
Dude, his production, he's got the rap style, he's got the Nas flow.
I would go as far to say that he is probably the greatest artist of all time.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I feel like some of those pioneers of pop, pioneers of rock, they're probably up there.
You're right.
Just because of nobody's ever done that before. But Kanye,
drop some names.
I'm talking about, like, Pink Floyd, Prince, fucking all these, like, Pet Shop Boys. You gotta get Suey on here. He's an expert in this. Like, Depeche Mode.
Suey does love himself some 80s.
Yeah. Like, my mom introduced me to a lot of this shit. I'm not a big fan of the music itself, but I can appreciate, like, what it did.
Hey, bro, answer me this.
Yeah.
How do you think your mom or your parents influence your music taste?
Yeah, my dad did not influence my music taste, so we could just talk about my mom. My mom she is weird. Like, she will judge a song in the first 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And then be like, it's bad, I don't like it. And I'm like, what the fuck?
You mentioned...
I tried to show her, like, Good Kid, Mad City, and she's like, I fucking hate it. And I haven't even gotten past the second song yet. But, she's got a ton of, like, 80s taste and, like, 2000s pop taste. And she's not into the modern shit. I feel like when you get
2000s pop, be a little more specific.
Like Natasha Bedingfield.
Okay.
George Michael.
Got it.
Big George Michael fan.
Big Wham fan.
Yeah.
Wham's dope.
She's from Brazil.
Okay.
I know I look brown as fuck, but my mom's from Brazil.
Cool. Where's your dad from?
My dad's from India, so that's where I get my brownness from.
Indian Brazilian.
Yeah.
Very exotic.
I go to Rio every 2 years. We see
Carnival. You never seen Carnival?
My mom's parents live on this beach called Copacabana. Have you heard of it?
Copacabana.
Yeah.
It's
in Rio de Janeiro.
It's a real place? Well, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
Is it cool? What's it like?
It's okay. It's gonna be 70 degrees all the time. It's the most amazing weather ever.
Oh God.
There's a beach. There's Copacabana, the main beach, and it's like dirty as fuck. But then you go around this. There are a ton of like markets and like thrift shops. Like there's a city center, and then you go to this other beach called Ipanema, and that's where you want to get your swimming through, surfing, bodyboarding shit. That's where the ocean's gonna be clean as hell, warm as hell. It's a beautiful place. All the tourist attractions there, fucking amazing. I know Rebecca's from there. You had her on the last podcast or whatever. I speak broken Portuguese by their standards, but I'm like, yeah, I'm a gringo. I speak decent Portuguese. That's why I'm in AP Spanish, because I just piggyback off my Portuguese, and it's like really similar.
So your parents speak Portuguese?
Dad doesn't speak Portuguese. My mom
does,
yeah,
because she's from Brazil.
She's from there.
So you were born here, though? No. You've never lived in Brazil?
Yeah, never lived in Brazil.
For sure.
I had to learn Portuguese because of my grandparents, actually. My grandparents
do they
in
speak
India,
English?
They don't. That's why I had to learn Portuguese.
Sure. That makes
Grandparents
sense.
in India, no English. That would have been a nice language to learn, Bengali.
Oh, yeah?
But, I don't know.
So how many languages you know? You know Portuguese, Spanish, and English?
Spanish, English, that's it.
Dope, bro.
They got this drum line in Brazil called Olodum. It's like the original. You know how they got drum lines at like 49ers games and shit?
Yes.
They got these Tokyo drums. Like they're derived from Tokyo drum lines, or just Japan in general. They got those like huge drum performances. That's where it's from, but it's like street version. Everything in Brazil, I don't go out of Rio de Janeiro, but everything in Rio de Janeiro is like street culture. It's hella chill.
Is it a cool ass city?
It's cool. Yeah, it's very urban.
Can you compare it to any city in America that I might know?
Yeah, shit. It's like LA. No, it's not like LA. It's like beachside LA. Venice?
Okay.
Like it's
So, is there a big like downtown, like with like when you think of like San Francisco, like those big type skyscrapers? Is it more like a Santa Cruz type like architecture? Like
everybody
I've seen it pictures Rebecca showed me of just like the touristy stuff of like the gondolas and the beautiful just like mountains and just landscape of just like this place. And it is gorgeous.
If you ever go on an international trip, you're gonna want to go.
I would love to go to Brazil.
Rio de Janeiro, Copacabana.
Bro, people.
I've never been to Sao Paulo, but I bet it's nice.
Have you heard people talk about like a senior trip?
Huh?
Senior trip?
Yeah, I've heard about it. I want to do something.
Everybody that I've talked to is like, "Oh, we're gonna go to Cabo." Like, go fuck yourself. Like, are you kidding me?
It's gonna be expensive.
Go
international.
Fuck yourself, bro.
Yeah.
Nah. I mean, international like is part of the thing, you know, just like going out of the country with like your friends the last time in high school, and it's just like, bruh. Like, I'd rather go somewhere like Brazil or like
France,
Jamaica, not France.
I'd love to go to France.
France is a little pricey.
Yeah, you're right.
And like, I'm actually going to France this summer. I'm going to France, I'm going to Spain, and I'm going to Italy.
Dude.
I'm big hype. That's going to be my senior trip with mi familia.
Good job, dude.
However, I don't even know if I'm going to go do something with like friends.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you would do something like that? Like go out of the country with your homies?
Nah.
Nah.
Okay, talking about friends, like
pricey.
I'm like moving friend groups right now.
Sure.
It's kind of weird. Like I have this core friend group that I'm still friends with, but like they brought in new friends that are like hella lame, and I'm like, I don't know. I've been saying like I kind of want new friends. I don't know.
I feel it, bro. I feel it.
I want to get to know people that are gonna like change me somehow, not just like fit in, make me reinforce my personality or whatever.
Okay, dude. That's what I'll try to do here.
Yeah.
So.
Dude. If you're gonna go to Brazil ever in your life, don't go to northern Brazil, because that shit's a different animal.
Oh.
You're gonna
what's northern Brazil like?
Northern Brazil is like, it's rainforest, it's tribal, and it's kind of shitty. Their economy is not very good. In the urban areas, it's really good. Mm-hmm. Their currency is not very strong, and it's been kind of decreasing lately. They've got a really corrupt government.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah.
I've listened to the homie,
Who?
Philip DeFranco.
Philip DeFranco. Okay.
Well, he'll do his research about and tell us the news that's going on in Brazil. I haven't listened to Philly D in a while, but because obviously the name escapes me even. But I listened to him pretty regularly about a year ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, he's just a news guy. You heard of him?
Yeah, I've been in
He's interesting.
Last two time time before the last time I went to Rio, there was a big ass protest because they had this president named Dilma.
Oh yeah.
She was.
Do you know what type of government they have?
Is
it a democracy?
It's not.
Is it a corrupt democracy?
Yeah, it's Democrat. I don't really know. I haven't looked into it very much.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty. They are moving on. They're trying to improve the infrastructure after the disaster.
Does your mom tell you anything about it?
She's not politically invested. Neither are my grandparents. My grandfather's like a fucking socialist. He's a Bernie fan. He wants more than Bernie. He's like, I'm not even sure why.
Where does he live?
He lives in Rio. They're on a couple blocks away from Copacabana. You could just walk down there in 5 minutes. It's beautiful.
That's fucking
It's
sick.
My grandfather is. I don't know where he got his political ideas from, but I think it was from fucking Leninist Russia. He was in the trenches, I bet. But I don't know.
Damn. Well, that was a little before his time, no?
I don't know. He was born in yeah, you're right. It was before his time, but probably Marxist. He was born in the 30s, I think. It's strange.
Marx was about end of the 1800s, no?
Marx was. Oh, what am I fucking saying? Marxist? That was the ideology, but I'm talking about Stalin.
Stalin.
Yeah.
The
I'm talking
man.
about Stalin.
The boy.
Yeah. I need to talk to him about where he's got his political ideology from.
So explain these political ideologies to me. Socialism being social welfare for everybody.
Yeah, he wants complete income equality. And I only became politically aware recently, like a year ago or so. But I need to talk to him about this because I don't understand where he's coming from.
Our Gov class does a pretty damn good job of educating us on this matter. I'm really excited for next semester.
Yeah.
The primaries, bruh. It's about to get a little spicy.
Who do you want to win?
Who do I want to win? I don't know.
You a Warren fan?
I'm not too tied to
Yang.
I'm not too tied to any Democratic candidate.
Okay.
I like the ideas of Bernie and Warren, but I've said, like Mr. Bristol and I talk about, it's just they say they want to do this, this, and this, but then it's okay, how? They don't really give a plan. And nobody gives a plan because they're all politicians. But Andrew Yang, that motherfucker's got plans.
Yes.
That guy's got hella plans.
If I'm voting, I'm voting Yang.
Dude, last night Trevor Noah actually did a piece on him.
Tell me about it.
And it was a very basic piece. It was just
dude, the media does Yang so dirty.
It was a great piece because. But he was talking about how the media does him so dirty. Because on the debates, he was just reviewing the debates.
He gets no airtime.
And he was they talked about it, and the media was Andrew Yang didn't talk at all, didn't even get a question till 30 minutes in.
It's bullshit.
And then Trevor was like, why they gotta do our boy Andrew like that? He was like Andrew, and he talked about how Andrew Yang was Obama's Secretary of Entrepreneurship.
Oh, really?
And so Trevor's you gotta flex that shit. you gotta mention that every chance you get. You gotta be I'm gonna give you money, and he showed clips of how Andrew Yang's popularity has gone, and he was it was nothing. Joe Rogan, boom, media did pieces on that because it's true. It's true. It was have you listened to that podcast?
Dude, I told you I listened to an hour at most.
Fire, fire.
I got 3 more hours left.
Of Andrew Yang.
Of the Andrew Yang.
That's only about a 2-hour podcast.
Alright, bet.
So it's light work. It's light work.
It's half of a Joe Rogan
what we call light works. The name of the game is light works.
Yang's a compelling guy.
He is, dude. I love his ideas. Trevor talked about how he has the most
plans,
stances on his website.
Yeah, that's
where you can click anything, any issue, and see his ideas. He talked about how he has his plan for incarcerated marijuana convict or people convicted for marijuana charges. He said he's going to release everybody, free anybody that's in jail for marijuana charges, marijuana possession.
Okay, so what's the maximum sentence for marijuana possession?
I got no clue.
How much do they have? Like, what's it to them that you're gonna make that?
I don't know if you remember this, but like motherfuckers would get like. There was a thing in the Reagan era, where it was like 10 for 10. Nah, it was like, oh. Have you listened to Run the Jewels ever? Of course.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Nice.
I love Run the Jewels.
Run the Jewels. So they did a song about this where they talked about
I haven't listened to much of it.
Oh, dude, they have just one song where they're like, oh, let me look it up.
Yeah.
What do you know about Run the Jewels?
They got 3 really good albums that I still need to get through. I told you about this. I like let albums sit before I listen to them. Like I got A Tribe Called Quest. Have you heard of them?
Of course.
Tribe Called Quest and
Love
Run the
them.
Jewels are like my next couple. I've been listening to Danny Brown lately. I'm trying to get into like a certain type of hip hop that's not
basic.
Yeah, like. Would you consider Uzi a basic rapper or like?
I would
I think
consider,
he goes beyond.
I would consider him. I love Uzi.
Yeah.
I think he's great. However,
it's just hard to listen to some of it.
No, I think he's a very transparent artist. I think, but he's just lost. He's a very confused soul.
Yeah.
He doesn't really know what direction he wants his life to go in, and fame, man, I was going to mention this about Kanye. Just like when you get to a certain level of fame that Kanye was at in 2009, and then to hear every single person shitting on you.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like, that really...
It takes a certain type of personality.
It takes a person to get through that.
Yeah.
Like, it's very obvious why he fled and, like, lived in Hawaii and, like, Japan for those years. Because he was depressed.
Kanye, yeah.
He was in a state of almost suicidal depression.
And that's why Uzi hasn't dropped his album yet, because he's like, why do you think that is? Why do you think Uzi hasn't dropped Eternal Atake? Or Eternal
Are we talking about Uzi or Kanye?
I'm talking about you, like, I know you're talking about Kanye, but I'm just saying, like, Uzi's an interesting figure.
He's just depressed, dude. He's depressed.
I feel like he's got so much potential.
It's really sad, because all we do is we take and we take and we take from artists. And we don't think what it's like to be in their shoes.
Yeah.
And that is the tea, my man. That is the tea.
Like, Uzi, I don't... The type of rapper I hate is, like, one of those... There's a shelf life in rap of about 2 years if you look at, like, the average retiring time, like, after they start their career.
Yeah,
and that's
they just burn out.
Oh, my... There's such a huge amount of rappers that just become popular after one EP and then just, like... produce the same shit over and over
Bro,
again.
That's why I love Post Malone so much.
Yeah.
Because his first EP was, like, decent.
Yeah.
And then his first studio album was, like...
It built on
gas.
Changed.
And then his next album was, like... Okay, now I'm a pop star. And then he kept his own, like, sound.
Dog, Gambino is like that as well.
Okay, I...
Go into that.
Now that you mentioned Gambino, bro, I think I gotta change my answer.
Yeah?
I don't think Kanye is the greatest artist.
It's Childish.
It's definitely Childish Gambino. Because Childish Gambino taps into the art of acting, the art of comedy, the art of rapping, the art of producing. And there's nothing quite like listening to a Childish Gambino album.
His career was so short, though.
Are you stupid?
Is he retired? He retired. I thought he retired, but is he coming back? From music? Dog. You're killing me here.
Alright, so listen to this lyrics of this song, okay? It's about Reagan. So he goes, end of the Reagan era, I'm like number 12er. Old enough to understand that shit'll change forever. They declare the war on drugs like a war on terror. But what it really did was let the police terrorize whoever. But mostly black boys, but they would call us N-words and lay us on our belly while they fingers on the triggers. They boots was on our head, they dogs was on our crotches, and they would beat us up if we had diamonds on our watches. They would take our drugs and money as they pick our pockets. I guess that's the privilege of policing for some profit. But thanks to Reaganomics, prison turned to profit, because free labor is the cornerstone of U.S. economics, because slavery was abolished unless you are in prison. You think I am bullshitting? Read the 13th Amendment. Involuntary servitude and slavery it prohibits. That's why they given drug offenders time in double digits.
Which song is that?
It's called Reagan by Run the Jewels.
Alright, what you getting at there?
That last line.
Yeah.
You were at the point. You asked me.
I remember now. Yeah.
You asked me.
So yeah, we're getting back to Yang here.
Yes, Andrew Yang, bro. Homie's got some ideas. Homie's got some brains. Something that we lack in politics.
So would you say
all we got is just egos?
And just like dick riders.
Dick riders.
Because like
egos
Joe Biden
dick riders
is the biggest dick rider of all time. And Kamala Harris is the biggest dick sucker of all time.
Oh.
Because that's how she became actually. I don't want to get into that, but
I
might offend the Harris fans, but that's how she became a politician.
By sucking dicks?
Yep.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I don't remember the guy, but there was this like.
You got to give me a little bit more details.
Yeah.
Bro. You can't just call Kamala Harris a dick sucker and not drop some knowledge from
She was an attorney in about 20 years ago, and this guy, I don't remember his name, but he was like in the pipeline of these politicians in California, and she had a sex scandal with him.
Oh.
He has, and she's been repeatedly called like the hottest politician in California by these guys, extremely misogynistic.
Oh god.
But yeah, she's definitely,
bruh,
definitely bought into it and definitely taken some shortcuts.
America is literally like two countries.
How?
No, because if you look at like the culture of like the South and like what like if you ask somebody what is PC, we have an idea of what mainstream media is and what's PC in like what you can say on television, but then like that standard is like completely flipped if you like turn on Fox News.
I mean,
like we have like a progressive agenda, right? We think we've like become slightly more progressive. However, if you hear some of the things people are saying and getting away with, namely our president,
okay,
like it's just absurd. It's just insane. Like that's why I feel the South states and like the West and like the Northeast is just like they're just different like places. Like Middle America, it's like
dude,
we have no idea what it's like to live in Middle America.
Have you looked at an election map though? If you look at Northern California, they all voted Republican. They're all
Northern California?
I'm talking about like
Southern California.
No, I'm talking about Northern. You can look at a map.
I've looked at a map, bro. It's mostly like LA is like all and like down there.
It's like
let me pull it up. 2016 election map.
LA is completely blue. That's how Hillary got such a huge victory, because they give the most. That precinct gives the most like fucking clout in the election.
Damn, bro, you right.
And if you look at like Shasta, Lodi, Napa,
dude,
they're all
right.
Republicans.
You're hella right, bro.
And then the majority of the country has voted Republican.
Wow.
And I'll tell you, my parents voted Republican.
Damn, bro, how does that make you feel?
They voted against Hillary Clinton because they thought that she was going to destroy the country, because my mom is like, her perspective on the George Bush presidency, where Hillary was like a Secretary of Defense, was that he ruined the country with his wars, and she didn't want that to reemerge with like the Obama 3.0 that Clinton would have been. So she voted, I think they voted independent, and they didn't.
Well, that's when you say you vote independent, that's basically the same thing as voting for Trump, bro.
I think my mom voted for Trump, my dad voted independent.
That's what sucked about Bernie not being there, because every Bernie fan was just like, F this Hillary chick.
Yeah.
Like, she's the devil.
Okay. And like, what I'm doing, I know that we're learning in Gov that our parents like really dictate our politics, but
we're politically socialized.
That's right, and I'm not gonna like.
It's not something that you can like say, or you can control. I mean, okay, so sorry.
Yeah. What I'm saying is that I'm gonna look at everything my own way, and if Andrew Yang's the best for this country, I'm gonna out and out support him, regardless of my political like registration or anything. Like as we get older, we're gonna evolve so much
He's
mentally.
A dope guy.
We're still so fucking.
I'm excited for our generation to come into power.
Yeah.
Like, I think we live in a great time. Like, it's quite the time to be alive, bro. Like, the internet exists. You ever think about that? I think about that a lot. Like, the internet exists.
They call this generation the internet, or no. They call it the internet age.
We're Generation Z.
Generation Z in the information age. Like, it used to be the space age when it was like the 70s and shit. And now it's changed.
Bro.
Because like, information is growing at such a fast rate and shit.
There is so...
Have you heard about Moore's Law?
Moore's Law?
It's like this,
like Moore, like Othello?
A guy named Moore, he was like, I think he was the inventor of Intel. Oh. And, or no, he was not. He was.
We're not talking about Shakespeare here, just to clarify.
Yeah. He was talking about how microchips are going to get faster exponentially and smaller exponentially. So, right, if you made a graph, we'd be like, we're about to take off in terms of how fast and like how much information we're about to be able to process and like store and shit.
Ooh,
it's gonna be crazy. I'm excited for what's gonna happen. And like that's why AI is so fucking, it's so huge right now. And everything that's
is it what AI is huge?
Yeah, AWS, Amazon, AWS, Azure from Microsoft.
Are algorithms essentially artificial intelligence? Like, is that...
Yeah, that's it.
That's what it is.
Also, AI is just, like... It like, helps with certain processes. Like, if a business wants to implement AI, they're gonna use a cloud platform and, like... And they're gonna make all the decisions based off of what it's saying. And that's how they, like, make smarter decisions. Like, an agricultural company will be able to make smarter decisions with their trade and like optimize everything with AI. I'm sure you've seen all the commercials with Common and shit. It's very easy to understand.
With Common, the rapper?
Yeah, he's made like some Microsoft commercials. Dude, that's a whole thing. Like some guy was parodying Common on Halloween in fucking blackface, and he got fired off of that. You should see the video.
Oh god.
It's a very interesting time. Like we got Justin Trudeau in blackface. I don't know what to think about that.
There's a lot to think about.
Yeah. Everything dude, it was such a different time. You could get away with blackface back then and you'd be like,
what a weird concept.
I don't know.
That was like what the North did for entertainment. That was just like funny racism. Like the minstrel shows, bro.
Yeah.
And then now it's just like a Halloween costume.
That teacher got fired in like 5 seconds.
What? So then why doesn't the kid who dressed up as a KKK member get expelled from our school?
When did that happen?
Oh, bro,
I've never heard of that.
Okay, oh my...
What the fuck?
Yeah, dude, okay,
How is that not an expellable fucking...
Dropping tonight, Friday, I, Cameron King, interview Devin Gannay, the president of the senior class, because he is in close relation to the leadership kid that dressed up on Halloween like a KKK member and sent the picture to his friends and then they posted it at our school.
Okay,
that happened.
Damn, bro.
And I interviewed him about it.
And he did not get expelled.
He didn't. He got suspended for 3 days.
What?
And he, get this, they're not allowed to kick him out of leadership.
Wait, how?
Because you can't get kicked out of leadership for any reason. Even if you dress up like a KKK member.
Dude,
So get this, if he wanted to, he could still be in leadership right now. He voluntarily stepped down.
Yeah, that's
Get that. Right?
The hell?
Right?
Yeah, dude, what
We live in a weird time.
I'm gonna tune into that, holy shit.
Fire podcast.
Dude, what?
Yeah! Yeah!
Oh my, dude, this political,
climate.
it's such a trip, like.
It's beans. kids, bruh.
I've never thought like that. Like, okay, I'm just gonna fucking dress up as a KKK member. Like, no.
No, like,
You don't do that.
We're like, what? Like, what are you doing? Like, white supremacy is like, we've established it's bad.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And do you know anything about his political stance? Like, I don't like
He's just a fucking kid, dude.
Yeah, I don't
like you know, like, you've been around teenage boys, you know? They tend to be slightly racist. But, like, for fun, you know? It's just like a thing that people do to fit in, which is weird, but, like, a thing, I guess.
Yeah. You saw Trudeau do that shit. It's not gonna happen with just, like, a certain type of person.
Hey, bro, I gotta pause it for a second. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Okay.
And we're back. Do you have any siblings, my friend?
Nope. Only child.
For sure. I have one sister. She's a freshman.
Yeah, I can see the poster right behind you.
Yes.
I've been staring at that. Not just the name.
This attic is quite a weird vibe.
Yeah. It's cool. It's cool.
It's got like...
It's getting dark right now, so...
It is. So it's getting... And we got the Christmas lights lining the wall, so it's kind of like keeping it light. And like... But like, it's got like a mood... Like, you look around, there's, like, football, Paris, Star Wars, and then just, like, family, like, there's, like, a guitar, and just, like, our preschool posters.
Dude, yeah.
And then, just to think that this is
and then a bunch of trophies in the back.
This is where the magic happens, bro.
And those are, like, yours and your parents' trophies, right?
Yeah.
So your parents are athletes, too?
My dad is, yes. My mom and my dad still actually play for adult soccer league. They play a lot for two leagues. They play on Sundays and Sundays. Yeah, just Sundays.
You got any like plans of playing in college or just like for fun right now?
I would love to play soccer in intramurally. So not at like the D1, D3 level. I don't want that to play a factor in what school I go to. I think that if I could try out and play for that team, that'd be dope.
Yeah.
You know, like walk on maybe. But other than that, just like, you know, intramural. Just intramural sport. I love to play sports. I'm a very competitive person. I don't know. Have you ever played any sports?
Yes, we've been talking about it. Like my tennis shit.
Oh yes. Tennis.
Been playing since 2009. That's insane.
Tell me about that.
I can't believe I've been playing for that long.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, so, dog, you want me to go into my fucking racing days?
Absolutely.
I was, okay, so this is like, the core of my life is racing, because I used to, okay, so when I was 5 years old, 2007, fucking, movie Cars comes out. That's probably...
Speed!
Oh,
I am Speed,
bitch. That movie is probably the best child Pixar movie in my opinion.
So flames, bro.
Like Pixar's insane with their quality. Toy Story. Toy Story on fucking Rotten Tomatoes has never gotten below a 97%. Can you believe that shit?
No, that's cap.
No, look it up. Even their latest one got like 100%.
Toy Story 3.
It's like 98%. It's insane. And it deserves it too. Pixar is crazy with their...
Toy Story 3.
Yeah, what is it?
Let's see. It doesn't tell me.
Just look it up. Yeah, Google.
Let's pull it up. Okay, tell us about your racing days.
Yeah.
Do you drive cars?
Yeah, Cars comes out. I'm obsessed with fucking Cars at that point.
Okay.
And just racing. Cars is based off of NASCAR. It's like Lightning McQueen is... He's the Pixar version of Jeff Gordon, this guy I told you about.
Jeff Gordon, a racer?
Yeah.
Got it.
That's who they modeled him
Was it kind of a true story?
Yeah. Jeff Gordon in the 90s took over in 1992. He was under the radar as fuck. Came up in Indianapolis.
As what?
As fuck. He was underrated. Never really...
What word are you saying? Fuck?
Yeah, I gotta make this explicit now, huh? Shit.
What are you saying? He came up as what?
He was underrated as fuck.
Oh,
Yeah. And then
know what you're saying at all.
Yeah, in the 90s he exploded on the scene. That's who Lightning McQueen is based off of, because Lightning McQueen was like,
oh my god,
insanely successful as like a young driver. I watched that. I watched the 2007 Daytona 500. Have you heard of the Daytona 500?
I've heard of it. It's a race where they go around the track.
Yeah, every February. Daytona 500. I've been there once. I want to go there again. It's
fine.
It's the inspiration for a Pusha T album.
Hell yeah, it is.
The race wasn't, but the city is. The city's hella chill. But yeah, that race happens. I watch it. Green flag to checkered flag. And I'm hooked, because that race is actually one of the best races in NASCAR history. And if you watch the highlights, you'll know why, because it was just insane. But, and then I get into racing quarter midgets. Quarter midgets are NASCAR cars, but they're a quarter of the size. So I get into that, and
there's a car called quarter midgets.
Yeah. It's a midget car. Midgets are like dirt track cars. But it's like a quarter of the size of an actual car. So it's like, it's really small, like max speed 80 miles an hour.
Okay.
Super fucking short track.
And you would race those?
I would race those.
Wow, dude.
And in Cali, you'd be surprised at the amount of rednecks here.
Oh, I don't know, man. There's a lot of land here.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised by that.
And all that, and you saw the political map.
You ever been to Bakersfield?
Dude, Bakersfield is fucking lit. No, it's kind of
Go watch the Danny Mullen video.
Yeah. Bakersfield's a very rural area.
It's so fun. Okay, continue.
So I do that for like 2 years, and the pressure was fucking high, dude. I quit after 2 years because there are so many levels to stock car racing. NASCAR is the highest form of stock car racing. There are like 10 levels below that, and to move up, you need to go faster and faster and faster until you're like at 160 miles an hour on like this tiny ass track. You can die. I got into a huge crash.
Really?
My mom came onto the track running, and she got hit by a fucking car. And that was the worst moment of my life. One night, Mom had like cuts on her fucking head.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
Can you take us?
I'm moving hella fast.
What's
this
that
is like?
like?
I would that moment. Shit, dude. That was very scary for me. They were all around my mom with like a fucking towel, and it was like all red, and I was in kindergarten at the time. I remember that, coming back to school the next day.
You raced these shits in kindergarten?
Yeah.
Damn.
They start you young as hell.
Damn.
Dude. The drivers coming into NASCAR, they as in like the people, there are teams, and this guy Ken Rice was my mentor on a team, and he's this he reminds me of Mr. Pitts. Have you ever seen Mr. Pitts?
Yes.
So he reminds me of that guy, a very southern guy, very old white man, and he's like he's the biggest team owner in California for these quarter midget cars. So nonetheless,
okay.
It's very competitive. You got like these teammates that are trying to beat you at every moment, and like the other teams are trying to beat you, obviously. And then if you don't get first, they take you.
You're last.
If you don't get first, you're last. Yeah. They take you. Oh my god, it was such a pressure-filled moment, because like you would go to Ken Rice's house and be like, watch film about the race, and he'd be like, so right here you fucked up. He wouldn't say it like that, obviously, but he'd be like,
this is insane.
Yeah, it's a different world. Like,
oh my god.
It was like I was 6 years old, being treated like a professional driver.
What?
The people who become professional NASCAR drivers are like 16 years old right now. It used to be like you'd be 20. Jeff Gordon was 20 years old when he got into the sport. Now these drivers are 16 years old. They're younger than me. I'm like, what the fuck? This could be me right now if I'd like pursued it all the way. But yeah, I quit because there was this huge race that I like did really badly in, and I was like, I'm gonna race one more race and call it quits. And then I won that race. I had to walk off, but then I started. Okay, that was amazing for me. I'm looking at you, looking on your face like, can't believe this shit. It was amazing, dude.
Oh my god.
It's like the best time of my life. It was like going all over California, these little short tracks.
Bruh.
Redneck crowd.
That's insane.
Fun as hell, and it was like, it was like being in the South in fucking California. It's a different world. But then after that, I started playing tennis because my dad is a tennis player. He played for USC. Their team, he was really good, but then he had these chronic knee injuries. and that runs in the family. My grandparents can barely fucking walk in India. It's rough, dude. I have weak knees, but yeah, that's what caused me to. I played competitive. Yeah, I played competitive tournaments for like 5 years. I got hella good. Tennis, yeah. Got into this academy called Tompkins Tennis. Very family culture. These Tompkins people, they're like 50 somethings, and they're ripped as the wife is ripped as fuck. She's the fitness teacher, and then the husband is like, he's been through with a lot of professional tennis players. He's very stressful when he comes to critique you. So I like.
Shut up, Siri.
So I went into that for like 5.
Sorry, I can't like that music for you. Uh-oh. Lost the connection.
Keep going.
Sorry, I can't like that music for you.
Tell Siri to go away. What's up?
What was I saying? Okay, so Tompkins Tennis.
Tennis family.
That, like, I remember everybody from Tompkins Tennis who came and went, because, like,
wow.
I was there
hella close.
I was there for 4 years. I was there every Tuesday, every Thursday, and sometimes Friday, because I'd like miss a class. You have to make it up.
Really?
Like, now we have makeup tests. We have to make up classes, and that shit was like 4 hours of tennis and an hour of fitness, and the fitness sessions were crazy. And like, yeah, that was a crazy time. I got hella good at tennis, and I'm very pissed off because about 2013 I left the program, and I was getting so fucking good. Like, I was.
How come you left? Or are you gonna get into that? Or?
Yeah. I was like top 50 in California, and I don't know what the fuck happened, but my parents were like, "All right, you gotta start focusing on school," because it would like I would come home every day at 8 p.m. and like just go to bed. So they're like, "Your grades are slipping."
Cool? Were you cool with that though? Like, was that was that an enjoyable?
It was so fun. Like you would,
like, oh my god.
When you improve at something, at least in my experience, you love that thing so much because like. Whenever you like good at something, it makes you want to do it more. So I don't know why I stopped playing at Tompkins. After that, I got these knee injuries where like the fluid in my joints was like running out, so I had to stop for a while, and that ended my like competitive career. So now I just play for the school. So this year I'm gonna try to get the muscle memory back and become number 1, because usually I just go in raw.
Bro, I'd love to play some tennis with you sometime, man.
You play tennis?
I mean, I dabble.
Okay.
I have played tennis. I know how the game works.
Yeah.
You hit the ball, and the other person hits it back to where you're not standing.
That's it.
And then you try to hit it back.
That's it, dude. That's it. You got it.
Yes.
Let's go.
Let's
fucking play tennis sometime, dog.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, you should have raw dog tryouts and don't actually practice.
Here you raw dog tryouts.
just like some people raw dog tests, I do that for tryouts. But not this year. I'm gonna practice after.
Hell yeah, you're gonna
practice.
You're gonna foreplay the tryouts.
That's right, bro. I'm gonna put the.
You're gonna have safe consensual sex.
I'm gonna put the condom on.
Oh my god, bro.
Alright.
And with that,
we're done.
Thank you so much for joining me.
It was so much fun, dog.
I have loved this. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Take care. Thank you for listening.
Hell yeah.
Any final words? What do you want to leave us on?
Dude, we need to do this again.
Make it a better final word.
I don't know.
What's your favorite word?
I don't have anything fucking clever to say. Fuck this.
Taco Bell.